Hello, I'm Terry Gibson, the Assistant Inspector General for Audits, Evaluations, and Cyber at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC. I am pleased to announce the recent issuance of our report on the FDIC's Orderly Liquidation Authority. To provide some brief context, before the enactment of the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010, or the DFA, the FDIC only had the authority to resolve FDIC-insured depository institutions. Title II of the DFA, Orderly Liquidation Authority, or OLA, aimed to provide the necessary authority to the FDIC to liquidate failing financial companies that pose a significant risk to the financial stability of the United States in a manner that mitigates such risk and minimizes moral hazard. We conducted an evaluation to determine whether the FDIC maintained a consistent focus on implementing the OLA program and establish key elements to execute the OLA under the DFA. We determined that the FDIC has made progress in implementing the elements of its OLA program, including progress in OLA resolution planning for the global systemically important financial companies, or SIFICs, based in the United States. However, we found that in the more than 12 years since the enactment of the DFA, the FDIC has not maintained a consistent focus on maturing the OLA program. Since the enactment of the DFA, the FDIC's focus on other important but competing priorities delayed maturity of the OLA program. We also found that the FDIC has not fully established key elements to execute its OLA responsibilities, including in the following areas. First, OLA policies and procedures. The FDIC has made significant progress in developing high-level policies and procedures for the execution of an OLA resolution of a systemically important bank holding company. However, it has not completed operational-level policies and procedures, nor identified how it would need to adjust its policies and procedures for an OLA resolution of other types of SIFICs, such as systemically important financial market utilities, including central counterparties, and non-bank financial companies such as independent broker-dealers and insurance companies. In addition, the FDIC has not developed two regulations required by the DFA or completed policies and procedures for ongoing OLA resolution planning activities. Second, OLA roles and responsibilities. The FDIC has not fully defined governance and individual practitioner-level roles and responsibilities related to the execution of an OLA resolution. Third, OLA resources, training, and exercises. The FDIC needs to obtain additional staff resources to plan for an OLA resolution and to fully identify and document the staff and contractor resources necessary to execute an OLA resolution. In addition, the FDIC needs to enhance OLA-related training and exercises to regularly ensure that personnel have the skills needed to execute an OLA resolution. Fourth, monitoring of OLA activities. The FDIC does not have adequate monitoring mechanisms in place to ensure it promptly implements the OLA program and consistently measures, monitors, and reports on the OLA program status and results. And finally, crisis readiness-related planning. The FDIC has not documented a readiness plan for executing OLA resolution authorities in a financial crisis scenario involving concurrent failures of multiple SIFICs. Without a consistent focus and fully established key elements for executing the OLA, the FDIC may not be able to readily meet the OLA requirements for every type of SIFIC the FDIC might be required to resolve. If the FDIC were unable to resolve a SIFIC, it could severely affect the banking sector and the stability of the U.S. and global financial systems. We made 17 recommendations to the FDIC intended to improve key elements for executing the FDIC's OLA responsibilities. The FDIC concurred with all of these recommendations and plans to complete corrective actions by December 31st, 2025. Actions that the FDIC will take in response to the recommendations in this report will improve the FDIC's readiness to execute its OLA responsibilities. To find out more about these issues and our other oversight work, please visit our website at fdicoig.gov. And you can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at FDIC_OIG. And remember, if you suspect fraud, waste, abuse, or mismanagement in FDIC programs and operations, or at FDIC supervised or insured banks, please contact our hotline at the same website and click on the red box in the upper right corner. Thank you for viewing this video today.